What's up everyone, my name is Nick, I'm a trading performance coach and I make videos here on YouTube to try and help improve your trading performance. Today's video was inspired a little bit by a conversation I had with a trader who pretty much said that they had made a lot of improvements over the past year and had now reached a point where they felt they were breaking even and didn't know how to make that next step forward. And this really got me thinking that quite often in the trading community, we are told to focus on one thing or another, and often that's not actually best suited for where you are at as an individual. And this video is aimed to help you figure out what you need to do to help improve your trading. We're all on a different journey and you're at a different stage to someone else, so you need to have your own plan. Before I jump in, if you do find this video helpful, please let me know in the comments or leave me a like. And make sure you subscribe and check out the other videos I have because I have a ton of content on how you can improve your trading performance. So let's jump in. The first thing I want to say is that a lot of traders focus on the wrong thing. Most traders are trying to get better, which is great, but they're doing it in the wrong area. They're trying to build their knowledge and learn new things. Maybe they're jumping from one strategy to another. Or they might just focus purely on improving the strategy they have. And they look back and they say, okay, I made a mistake. I need to change my strategy. I need to make improvements. Or they may be looking at a chart and being like, oh, I could add this to my trading to make it better. They might focus on discipline when discipline isn't really the issue. And it's just because a lot of people have spoken about it. And it's really difficult when you are trading to see this for what it is, because quite often it's a bit of a cloud that you're in. You can't really see clearly until you come out of it. And it's why I believe that so many traders actually fail, because they're looking at the wrong thing. They get frustrated and they jump onto a new strategy and they work on that and then they improve in the wrong area again. And as a result, they don't make any progress. So instead, what you want to do is set up an improvement plan for you specifically. You kind of need at this point to think of yourself as like an athlete who is injured, right? If you have a soccer player, I'll say football because I am English and I'm going to use the proper terminology. Sorry to all the Americans out there. So if you're a football player who has been injured, you will go through a rehabilitation process. Right? And that plan's going to be specifically for them. Let's say you have a player who's broken their leg. Well, they're going to have 4 weeks where they're going to have to rest that leg because the bone needs to repair, the muscle needs to repair, the soft tissue damage needs to repair. And instead of doing stuff on that leg, the athlete is going to be working on other areas. Now, it might be upper body, it might be mental game, it might be the other leg. Right? It could be all sorts of other things, but they're not going to be able to work on that broken leg. And then after that, they may have 3 weeks where they have to rebuild the strength of that leg, rebuild the mobility of the leg, right? And then after that, they're going to have 2 weeks where they have to get back into training with the whole squad before they have, that sort of like level of fitness ready to play in a game. Now, I'm not far from a sports physio, so this is a very much a guessed timeline, but I think we can all see that if you injure yourself like that, you cannot just jump straight back into main training, because you're just going to cause yourself more damage. And a lot of traders are in this situation where they've got something that really needs their attention. They've got that broken leg, but they don't look at that, and instead they go, I need to get match fit. And as a result, they begin training on that broken leg. In trading, it might be that they keep on trying to improve their strategy, keep on improving their knowledge, when in actual fact, they've got a major issue with their mental game. And all they're doing is learning more and more things, putting more and more pressure on themselves because they've having to think more, which allows the mental game issue to actually become even stronger. So the first thing you need to do is actually know where you are weak. And I think that there are 3 key areas. The first one being strategy knowledge. The second one being an understanding of what is an A grade trade, a B grade trade, and a C grade trade. And finally, a mental game issue. Now these do sort of like link up right? If you have a really poor understanding of your strategy, then you also are going to have a very poor understanding of the ABC trades, right? What is an A grade trade? What is a B grade? What is a C grade? Okay, they're going to link, of course, but it's important to understand which one is the weakest one. So what I would suggest is you actually go back through a trading journal, look back through your past 30, 40, 50 trades and assign them. A, being perfect, B, being uncertain if this is good or not, or a mistake that you've never made before, like it's a fairly unique thing, and C, where you've made a repeated error or a dumb mistake. Now, if when you're doing this, you can't really define what is a perfect trade, or you kind of look through and you say, well, I've got about 6 different approaches I've taken here, there isn't really a defined strategy, then the area you need to work on is strategy knowledge, right? You need to take a step back, probably from trading altogether, and go, how can I actually create an edge? And you may need to then spend a month going through YouTube, going through blogs, going through, if you're in a chat room, going through that and trying to work out what a strong edge looks like that suits your trading personality. Once you've got that and you've defined it, then you're going to be able to come back and paper trade and be able to begin seeing the difference between the A, B, and C trades. Now, if you've done that, but you are struggling to define the difference between the A grade trades and the B grade trades, or there are a lot of B grade trades, then you're going to have too many gray areas in your trading which need to be defined, right? You're essentially fairly certain what absolute best looks like, but then there's this whole gray area of trades where this could be a setup, this could be a setup, this could be a setup, right? In that instance, you need to really define what the edge is. Now, if you can easily identify the A, B, and C trades, there are a lot of C game trades, you're going to have a mental game issue. And it's where most people will fall into once they have a strategy. Because it's, I think, once you've spent that time to create a strategy, you know what it is, that's where we give up most of our profit. I think I've done a previous video where I showed that if I just take my A and B grade trades, I'd have made a few thousand in a month, but the C grade trades made that month break even. So many trades are like this, where 50, 60, 70% even of their trades are quote unquote dumb errors. And if they hadn't taken any of those, they would have absolutely crushed it. And finally, if you can see the A, B, and C trades, and you don't have that many C game trades, you don't have many B game trades, then you probably need to improve on your edge. So the first two, the strategy knowledge and the understanding, I think really that needs to be an individual thing. Like if you're standing there right now going, or sitting there right now and saying, I am not actually certain exactly what my edge is, you need to go away and do that, right? That's the equivalent of, you've got a broken leg, you now need 4 weeks completely out of trading itself, and instead you need to create something that is going to be profitable for you in the future. If you cannot differentiate between the A and the B grade trades, we can go through that, and then the C game trades, we can go through that. But just to sort of put a pause, if you are at that lack of strategy knowledge, that needs to be a focus. So let's now go through if the different weaknesses in the A, B, and C game real quick. So if you have a C game issue, right, you've looked through your trades and you go, wow, 60% of my trades are dumb errors or mistakes I've made in the past that I keep telling myself I'm not going to make. These are going to be caused by a mental game issue, right? It's going to be either tilt, fear, discipline, whatever you want to call it. It's a mental game issue. And the best way to begin to really work on this is to find the common link. Go through, let's say you've got 20 C game trades, find the one error that keeps on popping up the most. If out of those 20, say, you know what, 13 of these were caused because I revenge traded, or 12 of these were caused because of FOMO, or 15 of these were caused because of frustration at missing another trade. You need to find the common link. Once you find that common link, you can begin to understand the underlying mental game issues and start putting work in to resolve it. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description down below on FOMO trades. I did a whole video on how to break down FOMO using this model. doesn't have to be FOMO. It can be anything. It could be anger, revenge, trading. It doesn't matter. It has the same process in it. So I'm going to link that down below. If this is where you're at, and I think a lot of you will be, check out that video because it gives you a step-by-step guide really on what you need to do. It's the work I do with my clients. It's a lot of the work that Jared Tendler really champions in his book, The Mental Game of Trading, and it is, I believe, the best way to resolve these issues. If instead you've gone through and you go, hey, look, my B game trades is where I'm weakest. I'm not actually sure the difference between A and B grade trades. Maybe you know what your absolute best setups look like, but the definition of that compared to the bottom of your B game, there's a lot of gray area, right? There's a lot of trades where you go, this could be a setup and I'm not sure. If this is you, then you need to define your edge clearly based on the results. What I like to do is I go through the trades that I know are absolutely perfect, the A grade trades which you know are perfect, and find the common link. Then apply that sort of new rule, if you like, to B game trades and see which ones fit this category. You can also do this with saying, okay, I'm going to take all the winning trades from the A grade trades and the B grade trades. I'm going to find that commonality and then see which ones in the B game category or in the A game category, to be honest, don't meet that criteria. It's all about, at this point, understanding what is an A plus, an A, and then essentially a non-setup, right? Once you've identified that, once you've identified what that link is and you've added it to your trading, over maybe a few weeks, those current B game trades that have now not been upgraded to A grade trades, the ones where you go, this one I wasn't certain on, having looked through my A grade trades, this I've decided is not a good trade. In the coming weeks, they will become C grade trades because they have now been essentially, those trades have now been downgraded to, I know that this is a mistake, right? And that upgrades your knowledge, right? It removes some of the uncertainty, and it means that you now have a clear understanding of what a clear setup is and what a not clear setup is, which means that, you know, like I said, you're gonna assign the trades differently, A, B, and C. And finally, A game. If you're at a point, and I'm going to be honest, this is going to be a tiny percentage of people, but if you're at a point where you look through your trades, you can go, you know what, 70% of my trades were A grade trades, 20% were B game, and 10% were C game, and you're still not making profit, you probably need to review your overall edge. You probably need to look through the winning trades, figure out what is different between what is common amongst the winning trades, and then apply those to the losing trades and see if you can improve your strategy. This is also the point where if you are in this setup, in this stage, you probably want to use others who trade the same to help, whether it's in a chat room, on YouTube, or whatever. I would say, just as a small caveat to this, if this is you, I would go back through your trades again and really see if you haven't kind of cheated yourself here, right? See if you haven't said, oh, well, I understood that trade was actually fine because of, and if you catch yourself saying that, it's not an A game trade, right? But if you are in this place, then I would say this is a great place to be in, right? If you're executing well and your strategy just needs improving, then you're further ahead than 90% of other traders. And this was actually a stage that I reached, and you need to always have perspective, right? You need to get to a point where you go, actually, I'm executing what I'm supposed to be doing really well, but what I'm doing isn't actually profitable, or maybe isn't as profitable as you thought. And the great thing about that is you've kind of conquered the hard part, right? You've conquered the execution part. So now all you need to do is find a strategy that is very profitable, get to this stage again, and you're going to be making a lot of money. Now I'm just going to end this here with a very important slide. So if you have made it to this is probably one of the most important parts. Continued progress. You need to keep reviewing and updating your plan. Just like the athlete with a broken leg. If 3 weeks in they do a scan, they say, you know what? The bone has actually healed quicker than we think. The muscles all look in good condition. We can move forward quicker, right? Or it could be the opposite, and after 4 weeks they go, you know what? The bone hasn't fully repaired yet. We're going to have to push back that next stage of rehab another week. After 2 weeks, you may find that, hey, you know what? Now I know what my strategy is 100%. I'm very clear on it. I know what to do. I know what is A grade. And you can then focus on, taking paper trades or trading small size and beginning to figure out, oh, this is an A grade trade, this is a B grade trade, this is a C grade trade. You move on to that next step. You might resolve a mental game issue and then you go, right, okay, you know what? I'm now at a point where instead of 60% of my trades were C game trades, 30% are, and the 30% that are is a different mental game issue. Great. Then you go and work on that one. Or maybe you've resolved those issues and you're saying, okay, I'm now trading very few C game trades. I've made a big step forward in performance, but I think that there's a bit of a kind of like there's blurred lines between the A and the B grade trades. Okay, go and work on that. You need to constantly evolve and move forward. Nobody is going to be in the exact same part of their trading career. So you need to look at your own trading and say, where am I weakest? What could I focus on for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month, 2 months, whatever it is, to make a big improvement? If you do this, then you're going to be constantly moving forward, constantly creating a plan that suits where you are right now. And essentially, there's a concept that Jared Tendler talks about called the inchworm model, where you see your A game stretch out, then your C game close in, and then your A game stretch out again. And this is really the best way to improve. You want to make sure that you are not just trying to improve your strategy all the time when you keep on making dumb mistakes. But at the same time, if you're not making any dumb mistakes, then you can find ways to actually stretch yourself and improve your trading further. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video, found it useful. If you have done, please let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.